pay them every quarter, like I'd pay a bank. So that forces the discipline on me on running their business. To force I pay the bank interest. So I force a cash return, which is much, it's much more than the bank. But it forces discipline as well. But their expectation is 25% growth in value. Yep, why not? They won't be there forever, but they're not as ruthless as private equity guys like Bruce's brother. I've seen very ruthless, and they're not actually that good at business people. Private equity.
Tom, can I ask you how much emphasis you placed on market research?
Yeah, I did a bad job on that. To be honest, when I came into the business, I asked the management team that was in there, I said, can someone give me all the information on my competition? I want to understand what my competition is. I didn't have it. They all talked about each other. So I actually went and did my own research to get it, because brand new into the industry, I didn't know who they were. And so I didn't even have shoes in that. So I actually went into their websites and then started to glean and to get a feel for who the players were in the industry sector. But we haven't done enough to understand exactly what our competition are like. We're just in that process now, to be honest. I guess where I was with the business is that I didn't care about the competition. And if we were doing better, I figured I'm not going to look over my shoulder. I've got too much to do out here at the moment, so I didn't get diverted. But we're just starting to look over there now. We've been losing a few jobs in New Zealand. We're just creaming it in Australia. Absolutely. In New Zealand, it's so competitive. We've actually been losing a bit to our competition. It's right in our backyard, so we're starting to energise a bit to understand a bit more about it.
If they didn't have an understanding of their competition, how to do the SWOT analysis? Because what are their strengths and weaknesses against anyone else?
Yeah, and you're quite right. We knew enough about them to, we had staff that had gone there, so they were still mates, and so, but no one had actually put any discipline around it. So, right, we're the number one operator in New Zealand in size, and probably the largest joinery company in Australia as well, joinery factory. And so we kind of knew how big they were based on the area of their factories, joinery factories. We knew whether they were good or not by like this guy that had been in the business for 20 years. So he damn near knew all the players, what their strengths were, their weaknesses were, whether they were upset a client. So we had enough, if you like, to get through that cut. But we haven't done enough discipline work to say, right, we need to target in there, we can target in there.
The other part I wanted to just bring up, you sort of threw me a bit when you said, don't worry about setting a strategic plan, don't ask anyone else. Effectively what you're doing is getting everyone to do the ownership through the 100-day plan, so they become aware of what's needed.
What I did, so there's a little bit asked about face of life, the expression. When I first came into the business, it was so distressed. I didn't have time, really, to sit down and set the strategy up. I had to get the shape of the business right financially, and I had to get some stuff done. So I worked as best I could with that first 100-day plan, which is damn near a firefighting one, but made sure that we were making decisions. Right? The other 100-day plans now all hang off the discipline of the strategic plan and the business plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you give direction, but they're actually filling
So
it.
the first 3 months when they were saving the business, it was knackered, it was gone. Absolutely dead, gone. So that's what the first one was about.
Good.
Customer centric, you understand internal customers, external customers, that sort of stuff. What's the typical life cycle then? Because you don't go around shop fitting the same building every 6 months, do you?
No, every 7
we would
years.
expect to see between 7 years.
About, and it's coming down. So, if we took strips, okay? So the national retail operators are probably refurbing, in other words, get in there, strip the whole lot out, and redo it with a new design and refresh it about every sort of 6 or 7 years. So if I used Hallenstein's Glassons as an example, we did their signature store down in Lambton Keep. 25,000 people through on the opening day. Anyway, but that was a new format, big store, so rip the old one out and then comes the new format. An owner-operator retailer is probably 7 to 10 years. JR duty free have been moving from 6 to 5, and now talking 3 to 4. So going through the airport, they're operating 24/7. Bags going through, the joinery's getting knocked, and so they'll be stripping out now probably every 3 or 4. So that's the cycle. So it doesn't matter, as I've said, we can go and knock Mr. JR up, we'll be ready to do Brisbane again, get that complete. Right, we'll get a quote from him, doesn't matter, he did the last one. I suppose they know you, so there's a certain degree of trust, but it's all price checked. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tom. It's really great to have Tom along. I think you'll all agree that he's an excellent speaker and certainly knows the subject well. I think that, even though it's Tom is talking about a very large business, I think we can bring a lot of those issues down to any size business, whether you've got one employee or 2 employees. You still can talk about the culture and informing them of what's happening in the business. So I think those issues are for anybody. And when Tom talks about these, adding 20% value to your business by having those sort of structures in place, then I think that really does give value to the topic that we're talking about, which is getting your business ready for sale. And we are talking about a 3 to 5 year process of making sure that you have everything in place, and that's the sort of thing that Tom is talking about. So it's not about deciding to sell your business tomorrow and thinking that you're going to get a good price. You really need to start doing that process over a 3 to 5 year period. Just quickly, we have a brochure in there about the CFO services that we offer at Montec, and part of that is to help businesses with the sort of things that Tom's talking about. A lot of small businesses can't afford to have their own CFO, so we can do that for them, and we do already for a lot of our clients. We also have a product that we use called Attache Business Improvement Software, and that we can actually help businesses to see where they're losing cash quite quickly, and also put them strategies in place to stop that cash, stop them losing that cash, make sure they've got more money in the bank. So part of the feedback form that we've got there, if anybody would like to have a free consultation about the Attache software, just let us know, and we can do that for you. Just another quick thing on the construction industry, we're talking about Tom. I heard last week I went to a seminar and there was someone speaking who does a lot of work with family businesses, and he said he doesn't know of one construction business that has been sold and has been successful, ever. Most of them are family businesses and they just continue on. It's very difficult in the construction industry to actually sell a business. So, lastly, we have Peter from Kiwibank, and we're very happy to have Kiwibank along as a sponsor today. And I'm sure Peter won't hold us up for too long, but he's got a few minutes just to give you... One of the reasons that we're working with Kiwibank on these seminars is because they are trying to move into the business banking or working alongside a lot of businesses now. Most people know them as a retail banker, but they're really focusing on their business banking. So we'd like just Peter to explain a bit more about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Well done.